My name is Amanda Braun and I am a member of the United States Dressage Federation. With the Olympics a mere days away, you may have noticed horses boarding planes destined for Tokyo. Of these horse and rider combinations, several will compete in dressage at the highest level known as the Grand Prix. What does it take to get to this level? Let me explain. In order to get to the top, you have to start at the bottom. Each country is tasked with developing a training program suitable to reach the highest levels. In the United States, the U.S. Equestrian Federation develops 5 different levels that contain 3 different tests, and they issue tests every 4 years. At the international level, the FEI develops 3 different levels of multiple tests to showcase the skills required to reach the highest levels. Within the national levels, there are training level, first level, second, third, and fourth levels. At the FEI, there is the Prix St. George, intermediate, or sometimes called intermediaire, and then the Grand Prix. To start at the bottom means to start at training level. Training level showcases all 3 gaits, the walk, trot, and canter, and shows basic connection between the horse and rider. There is limited collection, impulsion, or suspension, but obedience is very important. At first level, riders must require that the horse be more on the bit, which means accepting the bit in the mouth of the horse while the horse performs its test. This can be seen and referenced as what is called throughness. Throughness means that the horse is over its back and it's using its hindquarters to push forward into the bridle. So the overall picture becomes an arch. At first level, the movements that are introduced are lateral movements. The first lateral movement introduced is considered the leg yield and is performed at the trot. This motion is a crossing over of the front and rear legs in a diagonal set to allow the horse to move diagonally across the ring. This shows what is known as suppleness and bend, as well as performing straightness. Now, it seems counterintuitive to discuss straightness and bend in the same manner, but what this means is that the horse can bend in the direction of travel and have straightness through its body. At second level, the rider and horse must then engage new movements within a gait. And what this means is that second level riders are required to show that their horse has collection. Collection means that the horse is carrying more weight on its hindquarters than it is the front end. Collection allows the horse to sit and balance properly into the more forward gaits. Within the gait, at second level, there is the walk, which is performed in a medium gait, and then you have the trot, which is performed also in collection and the medium gait. And then you have the canter, which is also performed in collected and medium gaits. Also, within the trot, there's a new lateral movement at second level known as the shoulder in and haunches in. The shoulder in and haunches in is exactly what it sounds like. The shoulder in allows the horse to be on 3 tracks with the front leg and the opposite front leg and hind leg on one track, and then you have the additional outside hind on its own track. This level of travel is straight along the edge of the ring and can be noticed by the judge by a clear, straight path of the diagonal pairs of legs. The haunches in is actually on 4 tracks, where all 4 legs are on their own separate track. This again is on the edge of the ring, and the judge can see this by noticing the lack of crossover and all 4 feet or hooves on each individual track. As the rider and horse move up to third level, the additional requirements within the gaits include collection, extension, and also the medium gaits. The third level also requires lateral movements known as the half pass. The half pass is performed in both the trot and the canter. The trot and canter half pass is performed typically on a steep diagonal line while the horse travels directionally forward but moves and crosses over laterally. This is different from the leg yield because there is increased bend in the direction of travel. Through this, the judge can determine how supple and bending and accepting the horse is of the rider's aids. The extended gaits at third level are noticeably different than the medium gaits at second level. In third level, these extended gaits have expression, and they should be coming from the hindquarters through the body to the forelimbs. The horse should be over its back and accepting of the rider's aids. At fourth level, the development of the horse is such that it has clear connection to the bit, is supple, is moving with engagement from its hindquarters, and is willing to perform the job at hand. The movements introduced at fourth level include a working canter pirouette, which is as if the horse is cantering in place around its hindquarters. This canter pirouette is the beginning of the foundational movements towards the FEI levels. At fourth level, all gaits are performed in collection, mediums, and the extended gaits to showcase the ultimate impulsion and suitability of the horse for dressage. As the horse and rider team move up to Prix St. George, they find out that it is actually quite similar to fourth level. The jump from fourth level at the national level to PSG, or Prix St. George, is rather similar. At the PSG, the canter pirouette is considered more of a pirouette and less of a working pirouette, which means that the direction of travel is closer to a small circle around the hindquarters. Additionally, the flying changes that are introduced at third level, then again at fourth level where there are multiple changes within a test on a diagonal line, now at Prix St. George there are numerous flying changes of lead at the canter required in sequences. As the horse and rider move up the levels of the FEI, the work becomes more challenging. Each level requires that the horse maintain all the basics learned at the lower levels. In order to reach the intermediate level of competition, the horse and rider must be able to perform with suppleness, impulsion, engagement, harmony, and with throughness. At intermediate, the typical required movements include the half pass, the shoulder in, the extension, the collection, the medium gaits, as well as the canter pirouettes and multiple flying changes of lead. The lead changes found at intermediate are rather taxing on the horse and require a significant amount of straightness and balance on the hindquarters. The changes of lead come in sequences of 2s and of 3s. As you move up the levels to Grand Prix, this becomes the most difficult level to achieve for all horses and riders. Building upon all of the basic skills that have been performed up until this level, the Grand Prix requires that the horse and rider perform multiple flying lead changes of sequences of 1, which means that the horse is changing its lead every single stride. Additionally, the required movements come up significantly faster. So the half passes that were found at the lower levels now require you to count your strides. So it may be 6 strides of a half pass to your right, and then you incorporate a flying change, and you do additional 6 strides of a half pass to the left, and do a flying change. And the requirement is that you meet certain letters within the arena at given points in order for the judge to presume that you are performing the tasks as written with correct impulsion and within the correct gait. As you can see, there are numerous levels that it takes to reach the Grand Prix. In order for horses and riders to achieve the mastery of the Grand Prix, there is many years put in, and the dedication is incredible. Thank you.